Hello there, dear friend. I'm so glad you're here with me today. This story is for everyone, no matter your age, and it's a calm, comforting one. So make yourself cozy, maybe grab a warm drink, and let's take a quiet walk together into the garden. At the edge of a sleepy town, where the roads curled gently between old trees and songbirds lived in the hedges, there stood a cottage. It was a soft, weathered place with ivy growing up its sides and a little gate that creaked when you opened it. That cottage belonged to Miss Adelaide. She wasn't famous or fancy, just a kind woman with gentle hands and a love for growing things. And behind her home, through that creaky wooden gate, was her garden. It wasn't very big, but it was full of colors, smells, and the quiet hum of life. There were climbing roses, lavender bushes, tiny strawberries tucked in the corners, and a fig tree that had been there longer than anyone could remember. One summer afternoon, a young girl named Elsie wandered by. She was quiet and thoughtful, the kind of child who noticed butterflies before people. She peeked through the fence, nose barely above the wood. Miss Adelaide spotted her and smiled. "Would you like to come in and help me water the flowers?" And so it began a friendship, a summer, and a soft little adventure. Every morning after that, Elsie would walk up the lane with her hair tied in a ribbon and a notebook tucked under her arm. She didn't speak much at first, but her eyes lit up every time she saw a new bloom or heard a hummingbird zip by. Miss Adelaide never asked too many questions. She simply handed Elsie a small green watering can and pointed out which plants liked a little extra. They worked in quiet harmony, pruning, picking, patting the soil with birdsong as their music and bees for company. The garden felt like another world, peaceful, slow, and glowing in the golden afternoon light. One day, as they sat on the bench beneath the fig tree, Miss Adelaide said, "Every flower tells a story. You just have to listen long enough." Elsie opened her notebook and showed Adelaide a page filled with little drawings, leaves, petals, bugs, and in the corner, a small sentence in careful handwriting. "The garden feels like it's listening back." Adelaide chuckled, then nodded. "That's because it is, my dear. Everything alive wants to be noticed." And from that day on, the garden wasn't just a place to water and weed. It was a secret world of wonder, a place where even shy hearts could bloom. As summer slowly folded into early fall, the garden changed too. The roses dropped their petals, and the fig tree's leaves turned buttery yellow. Elsie still came, scarf tied gently around her neck, notebook now worn at the edges. One afternoon, they found a single strawberry still clinging to the vine. Elsie picked it carefully and handed it to Miss Adelaide. "For you," she said softly. "It's the last one." Adelaide smiled and broke it in two. Half and half? And so, they shared the very last fruit of the season, sitting on their bench beneath a sky slowly fading into autumn. Elsie never said it out loud, but something inside her had grown that summer, something strong and soft and full of quiet joy, a little braver, a little more herself. And Adelaide, watching her young friend walk back up the lane that evening, knew the garden had done what gardens do best. It had helped something beautiful take root. Thank you so much for joining me today, friend. I hope this peaceful little story brought a smile to your heart. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, subscribe, and come back soon for more gentle, beautiful tales. Until next time, may your days be full of fresh air, kind words, and quiet places to grow.